Good morning.
Good morning, Chair White. We
Thank you.
are, it looks like it's you and us here in the room.
Okay,
And I believe we do have other board members who are going to be joining us. So
I
we're looking,
believe so as well.
okay.
I am in a space where you might see me as we move into executive session, go full of books because I've gotten space at a school, just as a heads up. So um, I will move from here to even further back into a storage space. So
Thank
thank
you
you.
for finding time in your day to join us.
Oh, I'm so happy to. And I believe everybody else did share they will be joining online able to um, review the information that was sent out to their offices as well. So thanks for getting that out to us in advance.
Absolutely. Chair White, I just need like 2 more minutes and then we should be able to start when we have a couple more members join.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks, Pat. And good morning to the staff. Thank you for all that you do in preparation for our Audit and Finance Subcommittee meeting.
This is Jennifer. I'm on.
Thank you, Councilmember Adams. Chair White, we can proceed. We do have 3 members of the Audit and Finance Subcommittee present.
Thank you, Pat. We'll convene the meeting and welcome all members to our Audit and Finance Subcommittee meeting for November. Pat, can you take the roll for us, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. City of Avondale, Councilmember Max White.
Present.
Town of Fountain Hills, Councilmember Peggy McMahon.
Present.
City of Phoenix, Councilmember Laura Pastor. City of Tempe, Councilmember Jennifer Adams.
Here?
And City of Tolleson, Vice Mayor Jimmy Davis. Chair, we are ready to proceed. Your Chair White, you're muted.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Pat. If a committee member would like to ask a question or make a comment during the meeting, please type your comment in the box and it will be read aloud and answered. All meeting attendees, please mute your computer or microphone on your phone. We'll move to item number 1, public comment. The public will be provided with an opportunity at this time to address the committee on non-agenda items and all action items on the agenda for the joint RPTA and VMR meeting agendas. Up to 3 minutes will be provided per speaker unless the chair allows more at their discretion. A total of 15 minutes for all speakers will be provided. Do we have any public comment on site or received in advance of this announcement, Pat?
No, ma'am.
Thank you so much. So I believe we'll move our next slide to item number 2, Chief Financial Officer's report. Where Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Ken Kessler, is going to share our update today.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the subcommittee. For today's CFO report, I do have the Public Transportation Fund revenues to report through the month of October. We just got the October numbers yesterday afternoon, so just in time for this meeting. So through October of this fiscal year, we are just about 4% over prior year and just about 3%, a little less than 3% under budget for the year through October. So continue to monitor these revenues, and then as the new tax goes into place later in this fiscal year, we'll monitor that against the ADOT projections in our budget as we go forward. So that's my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions from the committee? Hearing no questions, this report will be received for information. Thank you, Mr. Kessler. Moving to item number 3, minutes. The meeting minutes from our October 2nd AFS meeting was provided in your packet and are for approval. Please take a moment to review those minutes. If there are any questions or if there are any items that need to be pulled or revised, please share with us at this time. Hearing none, I will entertain a motion and a second to approve the October 2nd AFS meeting minutes.
So moved. I
We
need a
have a motion by Councilmember McMahon and a second. I believe I heard.
Oh, second?
Councilmember, okay, thank you.
From Councilmember Adams.
Yes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? The motion carries. Moving to item number 4, we are going to be taking a look at FY26 budget actuals for quarter 1. So I'll move back to our Chief Financial Officer and turn it over to Mr. Kessler to introduce this item.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the subcommittee. Tyler Olson, our Manager of Budget and Operations Financial Controls, is here to present the first quarter budget versus actual update. So, Tyler?
All right, thank you, Ken. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the subcommittee. I'll quickly walk us through the first quarter of budget versus actuals for FY26. If we were right on track, we'd be at 25% spent at this point in the year, starting off with RPTA. And taking a look at sources of funds for operating, 12% collected thus far. Still getting caught up on member city contributions. Federal funds will tend to lag. We have to spend the money, we have to spend the money ahead of getting reimbursed for those. So these will get caught up toward the end of the year. Sources of funds are always behind expenses. Moving on to capital side of things, not much activity at all really on RPTA at this point. Most of the capital budget is really around fleet delivery and things of that nature. So this will lag a bit. Taking a look at the total operating expenses, 22% spent on the operating budget, 279 million budgeted, 62.5 collected thus far. All areas of the operating budget are well within the 25% target. Moving on to capital, as mentioned, really not much in the way spent there, 5% for capital, excluding the pass-throughs to Valley Metro Rail. So we'll get caught up as we move through the process. There are handouts in which we note these variances. I'll quickly touch on these. On the fixed route side of things, utilities are trending a little bit higher based upon usage. Looking at those actuals now, we'll include those in our 27 budget with some of the increases that we've seen on SRP for our Mesa facility and some of the increases we're seeing in Tempe's facility as well for bus operations. Contractual services, software renewals at the beginning of the year. First quarter, we always see these kind of seasonal expenditures, annual fees paid up front, these kind of things. Same with demand services for the scheduling software and some of the memberships. Budget a little bit higher than planned, but overall operating budget is well within plan. On the capital side of things, really just a timing issue on the regional fare box upgrade that took place last fiscal year. Really just timing, had some of that build this fiscal year. So we'll take a look at that during our mid-year forecast exercise and bring the adjustments if we need to the board. I'd be happy to answer any questions before I move to the VMR budget if there are any.
No questions. You can proceed. Thank you so much, Mr. Olson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Moving on to the Valley Metro Rail budget, about 17% funds collected, similar to RPTA, trailing behind on the member city collections a bit. Federal funds will be reimbursed after we spend that local money. On the capital side of things, very little drawn there. Federal funds, again, really have to spend the local to get those reimbursements as we move forward. Taking a look at operating, everything is within plan. Operations maintenance, 23%. Security, agency operating, collectively underrunning there. The capital side of things, only at 7%. Invoices for major contractors do tend to lag quite a bit due to the complexity of the construction projects and that type of work. So we'll expect that to increase as we move through the year. Again, just some variance notes, really around timing of activities. So with South Central having some staff transition to operations a little sooner than we had planned, a little bit of overage there. Vehicle maintenance, some parts being delivered in 26 that were really budgeted in 25. And then kind of the annual expenditures that I mentioned really applies to the rest of these comments. On the agency operating, same thing. We've got some seasonality in the expenses that we pay at the beginning of the year that hits the indirect cost pool. So that's what we're seeing on that as well as capital. But good news is operating capital are all within plan at this time of the year. So I'd be happy to address any other questions that the subcommittee may have.
Thank you, Mr. Olson. I'll open up the floor for any questions. Pat, are there any questions that you might have received in the chat?
No, ma'am.
Hearing no questions, we will receive this reporting for information only. Thank you so much, Mr. Olson.
Thank you.
We'll move to item number 5, vehicle disposal process audit, and our chief auditor, Ms. Sabrina Beckstrom, will take it from here. Ms. Beckstrom?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. As was stated, the internal audit has just completed an audit of the Valley Metro vehicle disposal process, and we have our audit manager, Larry Conrad, here to present the results for the committee.
Okay here. Okay, thank you, Madam Chair and members of the subcommittee. I'm here to present the IT. Excuse me for a minute. All right, thank you, Madam Chair and members of the subcommittee. I'm here to present the results of the vehicle disposal process audit for acceptance. In short, the objective of the audit was to determine the effectiveness of Valley Metro's vehicle disposal process controls. And to determine the effectiveness of the controls, we reviewed a sample of vehicle disposals and supporting documentation for fiscal year 24 and fiscal year 25 vehicle disposals. We determined that Valley Metro has very effective controls in place for the entire vehicle disposal process. Prior to fiscal year 24, there were some issues with not notifying and obtaining approval from the city of Phoenix prior to disposal. But since Darren Curry came on board and the transit asset management team took over the process early in fiscal year 24, there have been no identifiable issues whatsoever. So the result of the audit, there were no findings or recommendations. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Conrad, for that report. I will open up the floor for members that may have questions. Pat, are there any questions in the chat?
No, ma'am.
So I do have, I'll go ahead and ask them and see if those are things we can entertain right now. Does Valley Metro classify minivans and minibuses as the same thing? That says paratransit vehicles are larger than minivans. I was just concerned because I know that there's some Chrysler Pacificas out there in the regional paratransit system. And I was just interested to understand, are minivans, minibuses the same?
Yes, Madam Chair. Yeah, all of the vehicles and assets are actually treated exactly the same. So they follow the same process of through acquisition all the way through its life and all the way to the end of disposal. So the process is exactly the same, whether it's a LRV, bus, or a minivan.
I would add, Madam Chair, the only difference is the minimum useful life of those vehicles does vary, and there's a table 1 on page 4 of the audit report lists that. So these lighter duty vehicles like the Chrysler Pacifica, those would fall in under the light duty vehicle category. So they have a shorter useful life in time and also mileage relative to a coach on chassis or a cutaway, which are the larger vehicles that we also use in paratransit operation. Does that answer your question, Madam Chair?
That does, because when I think about light duty vehicles, I'm thinking about the 4 years, 100,000 miles, or light duty transit buses. Those get 5 years, 150,000 miles. I think that's the same table 1 that you're referring to. But when I think about that Pacifica, those.
Chair White,
marker.
you're breaking,
Um,
Chair White, you're breaking up.
okay, is that a little better? I might just need to move a little closer.
The feed is breaking up from your side.
Okay, hold on one moment. When I go off video, I think it's better. Is that any better,
Yes,
Pat?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am, that
Okay.
works.
Thank you so much. So I guess the reason for the question is really thinking about that table 1 CEO has referred to here, because the light duty vehicles normally 4 years, 100,000 miles, whereas we think about the 150,000 miles. The observation, because we use Pacificas and we ride, is they're having a difficult time getting to the 100,000 mile marker. So just wanted to get that clarification and understand that vehicle type. I'll turn it back over if there are any other questions from the committee. This item will require a motion, correct, Pat?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Madam Chair, one moment. I'll try to answer your question. The table that you see is actually produced through the FTA, and it predicates of a grant application and fulfilling those grant requirements. So if a vehicle is purchased without federal funds, then the useful life is really determined to the end user. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much. Without any further questions from the committee, I will entertain the staff's recommendation, a motion to approve the AFS vehicle disposal process audit report.
So moved.
I have a motion by Council Member McMahon. I believe I can provide the second.
Yes, ma'am.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? The motion carries. The Audit and Finance Subcommittee may enter executive session for discussion or consultation with designated representatives of the public body in order to discuss security plans, procedures, assessments, measures, or systems relating to or having an impact on the security or safety of buildings, facilities, operations, critical infrastructure, information, and information technology maintained by Valley Metro. More specifically, the results of the IT patch management audit as authorized by ARS Section 38431.03A9. I'm making that request for a motion to move into executive session.
Second? Or you need a motion?
We need a motion, please.
Okay,
I'll
I move to
make a
go into
motion.
executive session.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
I have that motion from Councilmember Pastor, and I have that second by Councilmember Adams. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
I also
Aye.
have a question, if you don't
Aye.
mind. Pat, will you be sending a separate link for that?
I will send it to you. It was sent in a previous email, but I will forward it to you right now.
And
Okay,
could I
me
also
too.
have, Me too.
Can you copy all of us so it's at the top of our emails, please, and thank you.
Yes.
And we will leave this session and we will pull up our executive session link to the public. We will return once our executive session is complete. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Um, this is Jennifer. I can't get in this meeting.
Pat, please let me know when the quorum has returned to the main meeting link. Thank you.
Chair White, we have a quorum back on the line. Nope, we lost someone.
I am patient. No worry.
Chair, we do have 3 members of AFS on the line. We can proceed.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion from our body to re- to accept the IT patch audit results.
So
I
moved.
move. Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember McMahon, a second by Councilmember Pastor. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Aye. The motion carries. Thank you so much, team. We're going to move to item number 8, internal audit update. Our chief auditor, Ms. Sabrina Beckstrom, will introduce this item, and I believe we might be hearing from Mr. Conrad again. Ms. Beckstrom?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. We do have our internal audit manager, Larry Conrad, here to present the results of the audit work that's been completed by the internal audit department for the month of October. Mr. Conrad?
All right, thank you, Sabrina, and thank you, Madam Chair and members of the subcommittee. I'm here to present this month's internal audit update. We completed 2 primary audits in the last month, the vehicle disposal process audit and the IT patch management audit. And we also completed 1 internal safety and security audit. It was we had 2 corrective action plans issued from that audit. And then in progress, we have 2 primary audits, the credit card transactions and construction management contract audits. Our final internal safety and security audit for current year 2025 is undergoing final review. And we've begun preliminary work on 3 additional primary audits. And that's it for current audits,
This is
and
Jennifer, and I'm back on.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Adams. Thank you.
Sorry about the delay.
okay, and then for the audit recommendations update, we have 13 outstanding audit recommendations that are still in progress. So that concludes my monthly internal audit update, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I'll open the floor for any questions from our committee member. Hearing no questions, this item is for information only, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty, we will move to item number 9, intergovernmental agreement, contract change orders, amendments, and awards. Comprehensive information is included in this month's AFS packet. I do urge all members and member agency cities of the entire Valley Metro family to take some time and go through item 9 in detail. There are comprehensive slideshows available, data tied to each item. And then if you have any questions or concerns, the Valley Metro staff is more than welcome and available to answer those questions. Please route your questions through Pat Dillon. And we also have a subcommittee that will commence their meetings. I believe, to begin the end of this calendar year. And so we'll have our subcommittee active to start next year and start hearing back any feedback they have regarding intergovernmental agreement change orders, contract change orders, amendments, and awards. So this is for information only. Moving to item number 10, report on
Madam
current
Chair,
event.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
if I could, this is Ken Kessler. Just want to make just a note to point something out in agenda item number 9, specifically for 9Q, the vendor managed inventory contract award. It is in this packet as well as it was in the RMC packet yesterday as a $1.1 million not to exceed amount. However, the maintenance team has been reevaluating the inventory needs, and they revised the number down to 880,000, and that'll be the number that you all will see in the board packet for the full board next week. So I just wanted to clarify that difference. So if you note, a different number in this packet versus the full board packet for next week, that's the reason why.
And so you said 800, not to exceed 888 million?
880,000, yeah, so from
800
1.1 million down to 880,000.
880,000. Thank you so much. I appreciate that clarification and information.
Certainly, thanks.
Item number 10, report on current events and suggested future agenda items. I will request for our subcommittee to provide any current events and suggested future agenda items. As a part of our current events, I do want to remind the board and staff that we'll be taking off December of 2025. So we will not be meeting in December, giving us a time to kind of not necessarily take a break from the work, but take a break from convening in order to ensure that we're getting everything we need in order in our localities and to give Valley Metro the time that they need to continue the important work that they do and the slowdown process that might help around this end of year holiday season. Any additional current events and suggested future agenda items from the body?
I have none.
None.
Thank you all so much.
None.
Hearing none. We will go ahead and we can adjourn our meeting by consensus. And I will share our next meeting is going to be Thursday, January 8th at 12 p.m. Thank you all so much for your participation. And if this is it, we're going to have our kickoff to our holiday season. We will see you all next year. Take care.
Happy
Thank you.
holidays.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays. Thank you so much.
Thank you.